Welcome to Coins Hunter USA, the place where rare coins turn into priceless treasures and every video uncovers the hidden value of American history. If you've ever wondered whether the change in your pocket might be worth a fortune, you're in the right spot. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Jefferson nickels, coins that may look ordinary at first glance, but some of them carry incredible secrets that can shock even the most experienced collectors. Get ready, because what you're about to learn could change the way you see every single coin in your collection. Top 1 today, I have something truly special for you, the United States of America Jefferson nickel from the year 1973. A nickel might not look like much. Most people toss it into a jar, spend it without thinking, or overlook it completely. But that is exactly why this coin is so exciting. Beneath its simple 5-cent value hides a story of rarity, history, and incredible worth that makes collectors' hearts race. The Jefferson nickel itself has a deep history. It was first minted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it features one of America's most respected figures, President Thomas Jefferson. On the obverse side, we see Jefferson's portrait, and on the reverse side, his beautiful home, Monticello. This design has been a part of American life for generations, which makes every Jefferson nickel a tiny piece of history. Now, let's talk about the year 1973. Millions of Jefferson nickels were minted that year in Philadelphia and Denver. Most of them were ordinary, circulating through the hands of millions of Americans. But what makes some 1973 nickels extraordinary are the tiny differences, errors, varieties, and condition. These small details are the difference between a coin worth just 5 cents and one that can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of dollars. One of the most important features collectors look for is the full steps designation on the Monticello side. These steps are incredibly detailed lines, and because of weak strikes, they are rarely visible in their complete form. If you find a 1973 nickel that shows all the steps sharply and clearly, you are holding something rare. Full-step nickels are highly prized because they prove the coin was struck with exceptional precision, but the story doesn't stop there. Rare mint errors make some 1973 nickels even more desirable. Imagine finding one with an off-center strike where part of the design is missing, or a double die obverse where Jefferson's features or the lettering appears doubled. Each of these errors tells its own fascinating story of how the coin slipped past the mint's quality controls. For collectors, these mistakes aren't flaws, they're treasures. Then there's the condition. A circulated 1973 nickel that's worn down will not attract much attention. But one preserved in pristine mint state, with its shine and sharp details intact, becomes incredibly valuable. Coins graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC in the higher mint state categories, especially MS66 or MS67 with full steps, can bring jaw-dropping prices at auctions, and that brings us to the most thrilling part of this story. Among the millions of nickels minted in 1973, a tiny fraction has survived in superb condition or with extraordinary errors. These rare pieces have been sold for eye-watering amounts of money, turning an ordinary 5-cent coin into a life-changing discovery. Collectors all over the world dream of stumbling upon such a piece. And here's the shocking truth: one of these rare 1973 Jefferson nickels has been valued at an unbelievable $132,000. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel, worth just 5 cents when it was made, now carries a price tag in the 6 figures. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every coin in your pocket, every nickel sitting in a jar, could be the one that changes everything. It's the excitement of knowing that hidden among the common, there lies the extraordinary. So, before you spend your next nickel, take a moment to look closely. Check those steps, examine the details, and don't forget to search for errors. Because the 1973 Jefferson nickel is more than just a coin, it's a reminder that even the smallest things can carry enormous value. And who knows, the next great discovery could be sitting in your hands right now. Top 2. We are diving into a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but its true value will leave you amazed: the United States of America Jefferson nickel from the year 1974. Most people would look at a nickel and think, it's just 5 cents. But what if I told you that some nickels, including a very rare 1974 issue, could be worth an absolute fortune? That's right, this small coin that people often overlook has secrets that could make it one of the most valuable coins in your collection. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of American history since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous home, Monticello, on the back. By 1974, millions of these coins rolled out of the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But as collectors know, it's not the quantity that matters, it's the rarity, the condition, and the errors that transform a common nickel into a masterpiece. So what makes the 1974 nickel so special? Let's start with condition. A coin that has been in circulation, passed from hand to hand, will show scratches, wear, and fading details. But a coin preserved in pristine condition, called mint state, is what every collector dreams of finding. And if that mint state nickel has full steps on Monticello, meaning every line on the steps is clear and complete, then you have something that's already considered rare, but there's more. The 1974 nickel is known among collectors for some fascinating mint errors. Imagine finding a coin struck off-center, with Jefferson's portrait shifted awkwardly, or a double-die error where the letters or features appear doubled. Some even have clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake in the minting process. Instead of being discarded, these flawed coins entered circulation, and now they're treasures. Every one of these unique characteristics adds layers of value. A double-die obverse, a missing mint mark, or a nickel with full steps in top grade can transform a small piece of pocket change into a rare collectible worth thousands. And when such a coin is professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, it not only authenticates the rarity but also makes the coin even more desirable to serious collectors. Collectors know the thrill of holding a piece of history in their hands. The 1974 Jefferson nickel represents a fascinating moment in the long line of American coinage. It's a coin that reminds us that beauty, rarity, and value can be found in the most unexpected places, even in something as small as 5 cents, and here's the part you've been waiting for. While most 1974 nickels are worth only face value, the rarest examples, those with exceptional conditions or striking mint errors, have shocked the coin world by selling for extraordinary amounts. One such rare Jefferson nickel from 1974 reached an astonishing value of $129,000. Yes, you heard that right. A simple nickel, something people spend without a second thought, became worth $129,000. That's the magic of coin collecting, the possibility that something so small can carry a story, a history, and a value beyond imagination. So before you spend your next nickel, take a moment to look closer. That little coin might just be more valuable than you ever imagined. And who knows? You could be holding the next great discovery right in your hands. Top 3. We're going to talk about a coin that many people think is just ordinary, but in reality, it can turn into a life-changing discovery. Yes, we are talking about the United States of America Jefferson nickel from the year 1975. Now, here's the interesting part. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, with Thomas Jefferson's profile on the front and Monticello, his famous home, on the back. Billions of these nickels were struck over the decades, and by 1975, the coin had already become an everyday sight in circulation. People used it daily without even thinking twice. But, like many other coins, not every 1975 nickel is the same. Some are far more valuable than their face value, and that's exactly what makes them so exciting. So, why would a 1975 Jefferson nickel be rare or worth big money? The answer lies in condition, mint errors, and overall rarity. Let's break it down. First, condition. When a coin is brand new and hasn't been used, it can be graded as mint state. Collectors especially look for nickels with strong details on the Monticello building, especially what's called full steps. If every step on Monticello is sharp and complete, the coin instantly becomes more desirable. Now let's talk about errors. Minting mistakes are what make the 1975 nickel so fascinating. Imagine finding a nickel struck off-center, where Jefferson's face is shifted noticeably to one side. Or think of a double-die error, where the lettering, numbers, or even parts of Jefferson's portrait appear doubled. Some nickels even have die cracks or clipped planchets. All of these errors are like hidden treasures because collectors love them and pay huge amounts to own them. The beauty of error coins is that they are truly unique. No two minting mistakes are exactly the same, which makes every rare error nickel one of a kind. That's why serious collectors keep their eyes wide open whenever they come across nickels from the mid-1970s. Another factor that boosts the value of the 1975 nickel is grading. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch astronomical prices at auction. A high-grade nickel with full steps, combined with a rare mint error, can turn into a record-breaking sale. Think about it, something as small as 5 cents, passed from hand to hand without notice, can actually be worth a small fortune if it has the right details. This is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovering something so extraordinary in such an ordinary place. So, next time you come across a Jefferson nickel from 1975, don't just toss it into your change jar. Take a close look. Check the Monticello steps, search for doubling on the numbers or letters, and see if it has any striking errors. Because hidden among these nickels could be a collector's dream. And now for the part you've been waiting for. While most 1975 Jefferson nickels are worth only a few cents, the rarest examples, those with perfect condition or unique minting errors, have stunned collectors and shocked the market. In fact, one such Jefferson nickel from 1975 sold for an unbelievable amount of $127,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A simple 5-cent coin became worth $127,000. That's the incredible world of rare coins, where history, rarity, and passion come together to turn pocket change into treasure. Top 4. We're diving into the world of the United States of America Jefferson nickel from the year 1979, a coin many people think is common, but in reality, some examples can be worth an absolute fortune. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1979, billions of nickels had already been minted, and most were just used in everyday transactions. But here's the incredible part. Not every nickel struck in 1979 is the same, and some of them hold secrets that collectors are willing to pay massive sums of money for. So, what makes a 1979 Jefferson nickel so special? Let's start with condition. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are already valuable, but when they show full steps on the Monticello building, meaning every single step is sharp and clear, they instantly climb the collector's ladder. These full-step nickels are rare, and they are highly prized by serious collectors, but that's just the beginning. Mint errors from 1979 make these coins even more fascinating. Imagine finding a nickel that was struck off-center, with Jefferson's face noticeably shifted. Or a coin with doubling in the numbers or letters, known as a double die error. There are also coins with clipped planchets, where part of the metal is missing, or die cracks that make unusual lines across the surface. These errors are not flaws to collectors, they are treasures, each one unique and impossible to replicate. Collectors love these coins because they are truly one of a kind. And when you combine rarity with demand, the value skyrockets. Auction houses and private sales have proven time and again that a small 5-cent piece can transform into a collector's dream. Now, here's something every coin enthusiast should remember: grading matters. A 1979 Jefferson nickel in average condition may only be worth face value, but a high-grade specimen, especially with full steps or a dramatic mint error, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. This is why it's so important to carefully check every coin and, if you suspect you have something rare, consider having it graded by a professional service. Think about the excitement of holding a coin that millions of people overlooked, yet it turns out to be one of the rarest examples in existence. This is what makes coin collecting such an amazing journey: the thrill of discovery, the stories behind the coins, and the possibility that your change could be worth more than you ever imagined. So, the next time you come across a Jefferson nickel from 1979, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look at the details. Examine the Monticello steps, inspect the lettering for doubling, and keep your eyes peeled for unusual shapes or strikes. Because hidden among these nickels could be a collector's prize waiting to be found. And now, the big reveal. While most 1979 Jefferson nickels are only worth their 5-cent face value, the rarest examples, those with pristine condition, sharp full steps, or striking mint errors, have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. In fact, one such 1979 Jefferson nickel shocked the collecting world by selling for an unbelievable $119,000. If you enjoy learning about rare coins like this and don't want to miss future hidden treasures, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Coins Hunter USA. Your support helps us keep bringing these fascinating stories to life, and who knows, the next video might just reveal the coin sitting in your pocket right now.